Now, when we talk about the need for delineation studies, this is the area that is most concerning. We know for a fact that there's contamination on the other side of this road in significant quantities. We know that over here is the wetlands that feeds our water, our municipal water source. And the delineation study would look at where the contamination ends. How close has it got into our water? Is it getting closer? And this is what I wanted to show you. So in addition to the construction and demolition waste, I found evidence of dumping liquids. And this appears to be very old, but this is a bunch of ruptured canisters. This is an old dumping ground of the scariest variety. And this, I think, poses such an obvious danger that I expected them to respond within days of me having reported it. And to the best that I've been able to determine, this was completely ignored. They haven't even explored whether this area is contaminated. And it is very close to our water. The wetlands beyond this point are what we call an IPZ-3, and they have a lower level of risk compared to 2, because 2 is closer to the pipe, but it is a relatively meaningless distinction in the sense that the water here is clearly mixing. So the water here is 2 and here is 3, but they're very close to each other. Once in the 3, it's recognized that the soil there acts as a buffer because the contaminants can readily reach the water. Once it gets to here, they calculate the contaminants can reach the water system within 2 hours. And that's what we're looking at over here. Once the contamination has gone under the road, it's here. And again, this is IPZ2, which means it can reach the intake pipe in 2 hours. And I don't know if you can see that bridge in the distance. That's roughly where the intake pipe is.
Thanks, Director McMahon. Now, there were questions regarding a delineation study, and that was posted on the weekend on a number of community Facebook pages, and it was suggested, and there's some correspondence shared within the ministry, some emails went back and forth, I guess, that had been received, the Freedom of Information request, and it was suggested the town had not completed that. But can you speak to that? Because I guess all the studies were required by the ministry were completed, otherwise the ECA would not have been issued. So can you speak to what studies were completed that would be, I guess, comparable or would replace a delineation study, or how that works?
Right, thank you for the question and through the chair. So the delineation study is essentially the hydrogeological assessment that we did for the site. So the town commissioned a hydrogeological expert, they're a professional engineer, to draft that report. So there's quite a bit of information in there in terms of the mapping and the delineation of where we tested the soil, where we installed groundwater monitoring wells for continuance of monitoring going forward. It noted in the mapping where we sampled surface water. So we did 3 things. We sampled surface water, we sampled the soil, some shallow test wells, to inform on where it would make sense from a delineation perspective around the site to install groundwater monitoring wells. So all that's been done. It all forms part of the hydrogeological report, and that's what we'll be posting to the website.